attitude is not taught anywhere. That you have to bring to the table from the day one.
What kind of a broker should real estate agencies be hiring, and what kind of people are fit for that purpose?
Attitude trumps everything else. Whatever the mode in which that client walks in, you as a salesperson cannot let that affect you, and you have to always bring your A game.
And because real estate is such a tempting industry, life-changing money that it offers, a lot of people say that, okay, we'll try this. Is this the right kind of mindset in today's market?
You're not only offering them a project, a home, a house, you're basically offering them your services. Are your services going to be at par with someone who is doing this day in, day out?
Hello everybody, this is another session of Brick Buzz. I'm here with Mr. Asim Hussain, and today we're going to talk about something really interesting that has to do with the brokerage industry, more specifically what kind of a broker should real estate agencies be hiring, and what kind of people are fit for that purpose. I think in a very growing and competitive real estate market, there's a lot of people who are interested in joining this field. I think, Mr. Asim, you would agree. This is something you probably have to deal with. And these are things that you probably are looking to do as well. Hiring a team, hiring more brokers, hiring good brokers, motivated people to come and join your team. You've written quite a few points here which I'm dying to get into. But first of all, tell me, what is it? What is it that you or any person who runs a real estate agency at a very high level, what is it that you're looking for? What makes a good broker in your opinion?
So, Asit, the reason why I was dwelling upon this point is very simple. Collectively, if you include the developers as well, the real estate industry spends millions, literally millions of dirhams in direct marketing, in social media marketing, in the billboards, in the banners, in the road shows, in every kind of the hoardings that we see out there. As soon as you enter Dubai airport, you will see property hoardings, billboards. So there's a lot of money that is being spent in marketing of the projects. Everything goes fine, but in my humble opinion, the weakest link in this whole chain is when, for example, if you take the example of a developer, when the client walks in and is greeted by that person who's actually going to help the client purchase a suitable property for himself. So that, in my opinion, is the weakest link.
Or the strongest link.
Or it can be the strongest link. It's just perspective. And the basic defining factor would be the attitude of that person, because I think attitude trumps everything else. And it's a very pertinent saying that either you have to upgrade your attitude or you have to downgrade your expectations. So I was going through compiling a list of when even small agencies like us, when we have to hire salespeople, what should be the basic defining criteria for those people and for those sales representatives who are going to assist our clients in making a well-informed property purchase decision. So the first attribute that I would say, the primary attitude is the primary attribute is the attitude.
Okay, well said.
Attitude trumps everything. If the attitude is correct, the individual is not only interested in selling you something as a client, but is interested in understanding your requirements and assisting you in making a well-informed decision. That is, for me, everything. The helping attitude, the positive attitude, the positive energy that that person would bring in would trump everything. Because they're in any decision making process in real estate, the client is basically looking for three things. The first person to assist him is going to be the agent, which is going to help him. The second would be his surroundings. And the third would be the project, the developer, the reputation of the developer, the reputation of the project, the type of property that he's purchasing. So these defining factors would be there. One of the most pertinent one, again, is going to be the person who's going to assist him in selecting that property. And I'm very careful in the choice of my words over here, that attitude of that person is paramount. A client can walk in a bad mood. A client can walk in the best possible, with a smile on his face, that he can, best possible attitude, or he can have a frown on his face.
He can be a completely motivated client, or on the day an unmotivated client but wanted to make that meeting or wanted
so
to.
So whatever the mode in which that client walks in, you as a salesperson cannot let that affect you, and you have to always bring your A game to the table. And you always have to have a positive attitude on the whole thing. If your attitude is not positive, then that sale is never going to happen.
Tell me something. Do you think that for a real estate agent, that right attitude can be taught?
I think that attitude can be refined, can be polished, but that has to be intrinsically from within that person. So we have to identify, when we hire a team member, we have to identify that attitude within that person.
I completely agree with you. Where do you think this attitude comes from?
Okay, so attitude is a direct derivative of your belief system. Now, let's break it down further. You have to have a belief in yourself. You have to have a belief in the country that you're working in.
The city, the environment.
The city that you're working in. The industry that you're working for. The organization that you're working in. And the team that you're working with. So, in yourself, if you believe that you can do something, you would try and endeavor in doing it. If you do not have a belief that I can do this, so you will never be able to even endeavor to do it. So that belief system in yourself has to be there. The belief in your country where you're working. So for example, in this case, UAE. Do you think UAE has a thriving economy? 94% of the people who are in Dubai or in UAE have migrated here. So until unless they had a belief that yes, I've been born and raised in another country, and I think this transition to UAE, you had a belief in UAE. That's the reason you made that transition, right? So that transition, that belief, I think for most of the people, and that's the kind of people I think should come to UAE and Dubai, that they have a belief that yes, I can make a better life for not only myself, but for my extended family, and I have to give back. That's the attitude. I have to give back to the community. I have to give back to the city and the country that I'm now residing in.
And that's not just for people who are coming to UAE. This is for people who have continued to stay in UAE because they believed in the country. A lot of people go abroad, do what they have to do, but come back. Those things.
So I've seen a lot of people who have come back, and yes, you are very, very much right. The third belief system is going to be in the city. So Dubai, everybody knows about Dubai, and Dubai needs people who have the right belief system in itself. If you believe in this city, like we all do who are sitting here, if you believe in the city, please by all means come here, contribute, get the benefits for yourself, but you have a surrounding, you have an ecosystem. give back to that ecosystem as well. That's what I am an ardent believer of, that you need to give back to the ecosystem. Now, then you'll select an industry. In our case, it's real estate industry. Do you think that's a sustainable career? That's a sustainable industry? That industry is actually thriving. You have to have a firm belief on that. Now, your beliefs are going to be based on your own experiences, the reading that you do, the amount of hard work and homework that you have done in the system, that will give you this belief system. Then the organization that you select. If you believe that, yes, this is the right organization, perfectly fine. If you believe this is the right team I'm working with, that all belief system would actually enhance your attitude. It will polish your attitude towards being more positive and more proactive and more productive.
What are the things an individual should look for in a team or an organization or a real estate agency that should make them believe that, yes, this is the right agency I'm looking for? That this is the right agency I want to work for.
So again, I would say honesty, clarity, transparency. These are three founding factors in any team or any organization or any person that you're going to look towards to help you. Nothing more. It is self-explanatory, but until unless these three pillars are standing and are firmly in place, you would not be able to achieve anything.
Excellent. I think
now belief system, I'll give you an example of a belief system. For example, let's talk about not naming any country or city. If you have a area where there's a lot of unsettling things going on around you, culturally, economically, financially, security wise, and I offer you the best possible villa, a beach facing villa with amazing amenities, would you like to go and live there? Would you believe that, yes, you can actually make a life there? You would say no. This is a great opportunity, but I do not think and I do not believe that this place is going to offer me the security, the safety, the economic benefits, the financial benefits, the social benefits of actually moving there and making a life for myself. So that belief system is 110% embedded in Dubai. And that's the reason why, until unless you have that belief system in place, please come to Dubai, make it a home, and be a productive member of the society. These words are very carefully chosen. Moving on, the next point I would say is the competence. Now, competence you develop over a period of time, but you have to work on getting that competence. You have to know the local trends. You have to know the international trends. You have to know what's happening in the global market, how that may or may not affect your city, your industry, the project, or the product that you are interested in selling and promoting. So that competence has to be developed, refined, polished over a period of time. Now, once you have developed that competence, then the next step is the confidence you have and the competence you develop over a period of time. So that confidence is going to help you in actually promoting the products that you have, the projects that you have in a more refined manner. The client will sense it, whether you know what you're selling, the product that you actually want to bring to table, because that client would generate further referral clients if you are into this field for the longer run. If you are here for the long haul, this is the way to go.
All of that, very valid points, but I think for a person to be a person to really internalize all of those qualities, to really make use of them, I think one word that comes to my mind is very strong: discipline. Is that something that factors in your 5-point agenda?
where it's actually a 6-point agenda. And confidence was, after confidence, discipline was right on my list. Once you have developed those basic frameworks and that basic infrastructure, you need to have the discipline to follow it through. The discipline comes once you have the basic vertebra straight, and then you want to maintain it that way. So discipline is following through every single day. You cannot be jittery in this. You cannot have a half-hearted approach. So one day you're here, one day you're here. You cannot be all over the place. You need to have discipline in following the set patterns, in the set rules, and you have to be dependent. The client has to be dependent on you.
Before you go into this, give me an example of a very disciplined day for a real estate agent.
Okay. I'm not saying everybody does that,
but
for
an
example,
ideal-
hypothetically speaking, if you make a great sale one day and the commissions have just come in, do you come the next day to the office with the same zeal, same zest, same devotion, same amount of energy, with the same routine that if I have to be in this office at this particular time, I'll come there at this time, whether I've made 100 dirhams last day or whether I've made 1,000,000 dirhams last day? The next day would define your discipline. Or am I getting 1,000,000 dirhams right now and I'm going to go for a party for about 15-20 days? I'll switch off my phone and I will say, now let me enjoy it for the next 20-25 days. And if the clients are following it up with you, or there's something that needs to be done and you're just not there. So that discipline in your approach to your work and your approach to actually help people. Because in sales, what are you doing? You're not selling a property. You're actually helping your clients make a well-informed decision. So that level of attention and that level of caring for someone will not come unless you have a discipline in your work. And that discipline is evident in every aspect of your life. If that discipline is there, then you can be relied upon. Then people will depend on you. That reliance on your performance, that reliance on your behavior would dictate how comfortable your clients are with you. And the last factor I would say, which by no means is any less important, is you have to continuously evaluate yourself and you have to evolve. Unless you evaluate what you did, in the manner you approach certain things, and what can be improved upon, how you can enhance, how you can refine your approach to certain aspects, you have to evolve. Over a period of time, if you have spent 5 years in this industry, or 6 years, or over a decade, or even 6 months, have you evolved during those 6 months? Have you actually learned, applied, evolved? If the Kaizen principle is not followed, or if the closed loop cycle is not followed, where you have to reflect, introspect and reflect. Unless you introspect and reflect what you did, how you approached a certain aspect, how you approached a certain problem, how you endeavored to resolve it, what can be enhanced, what can be augmented, what can be made better, and then you actually work towards it, then you are not evolving. And if you don't evolve, then we know all the things that have not evolved over a period of time, where are they now? They're extinct. So unless you want to be extinct, you have to evolve. And that is, in a nutshell, the 6 aspects that I would look in any real estate professional that comes, sits across the table with me and wants to work with either me or a lot of my colleagues who have. These are the aspects I would look for in a person when they come and sit across the table and ask that, yes, Asim, we would like to work with you. Can I work with you? So my answer would depend on my evaluation of all these 6 factors within you. And if you think, yes, you possess all these factors, come and have a cup of tea with us, cup of coffee with us.
I'd like to ask you what. So we just talked about everything that ideally you should be looking for. You gave really good advice to somebody who's thinking about it. They should be thinking along these lines. But in real terms, in reality, what is it that you've experienced? What's lacking? What is it that people come in and when they talk to you and they want to come and work for you or work in the real estate industry, what has bothered you about their mindset or their approach?
I think the paramount factor that has bothered me is the top 2 factors. That positive can-do attitude is not there, or the belief system is not in place, or even if it's in place, it's not that firmly embedded. Those are the 2 factors that I've seen. For ardent professionals, these 2 factors are paramount, and all the building blocks would then come in. I can teach you, real estate can be taught. Real estate in a lot of places is being taught as a subject. Attitude is not taught anywhere. That you have to bring to the table from the day one. If you have the attitude, everything else can be taught to you. Attitude cannot be taught to you. You either have it or you don't have it. The belief system, either you have it, it's a digital game. Your performance is analog. It can vary every day. It can vary. But for example, I would say the honesty and integrity of a person is not analog, it's digital. Either you have it or you don't have it. You cannot be 50% honest and 60% honest or 40% honest. You are either honest or dishonest. You either have integrity or you don't have integrity. So these things, I think people should actually look into this aspect. People should do a lot of introspect. Not only the sales
introspection.
Introspection is so people should actually have a lot of introspection done before they think of coming to Dubai. Even I would say it should start from that element. The day you think that you're going to pack up your bags and you are going to visit Dubai and try and make this your home, because those are the
in the real estate industry.
In the real estate industry,
keep it on that topic.
In the real estate industry specifically, I would say that people should have a very thorough introspection in their attitude and in the belief system. If you have these, please by all means come here, come to Dubai, start your career in real estate. We are always looking for people with positive attitude and very clear embedded belief systems.
A lot of people come into real estate and they feel like they can try real estate and they have a plan B, maybe a prospect of an employment somewhere, maybe in their own country or in Dubai. And because real estate is such a tempting industry in terms of how much people get paid and the lifestyle that life-changing money that it offers and the lifestyle it offers, a lot of people do get tempted and then they maybe try to say that, okay, we'll try this. Is this the right kind of mindset in today's market? Maybe 10 years ago it was different. But in today's market, is that the right kind of mindset to go after if you're actually thinking of pursuing anything in real estate?
Anything in life in general.
Fair enough.
But specifically real estate, a lot of people come and they say, I am doing something else and in the evening I would like to try real estate. I would like to give it a couple of hours in the day and try and see if this works for me. If this works for me, I'll do it from complete during the day and I'll leave my day job. But I would now have a day job and this is something I'm doing part-time. This is one category of people. I always tell them for a client, it would be very important that you have the correct set of tools with you, and you have given it your due amount of time in researching and analyzing what projects you are going to bring to the table and offer to the best of your capability. Do you think a person who is living, breathing real estate every day for the past so many years, and
Who's
somebody
competing with you.
who's competing with you, your competitor, who's going to offer them something and their services, you're not only offering them a project, a home, a house, you're basically offering them your services. Are your services going to be at par with someone who is doing this day in, day out, diligently, consistently, and just has a very, very focused attention on this? Are you going to bring in that focus? If you can bring in that focus, we can talk about it. But in 99% of the cases, that focus is not there. They're devoid of this focus. Now, coming back to your point of Plan B. Plan B is not a bad choice. It's a safe choice. But Plan B and Plan A cannot go in tandem. You cannot be working on both plans simultaneously, because you are a human being with 24 hours in a day, and those 24 hours are divided into segments which everybody knows. So out of that, if you are delegating 2 hours to real estate and your competitor is delegating 16 to 18 hours to this profession, as a client, who would I be more comfortable in dealing with, and who would have that confidence reflected, radiating? That confidence in yourself is radiating at times, and that radiations are being picked up by the clients. Clients are very, very on point, and they're very savvy. Now, another aspect to this is, and again, it's a personal preference by me. Are you going into something all guns blazing, as I say, or like I'm a motorhead, so I use that term, firing on all cylinders? Are you doing that? Or, because real estate is a very challenging industry, every day you will come across disappointments as well. How you deal with that disappointment, how your belief system is in place, and you are willing to work day in, day out on that. And there's in the theory about the tipping point theory of how much efforts you put in, then the situation tilts in your behavior, but how much work you need to put in. Now, if you have a Plan B and you are faced with disappointments, are you going to refine your Plan A? Are you going to be more focused on your Plan A? Are you going to say, no, I believe in this, and my belief system would not allow me to divulge from my Plan A and deviate from my Plan A and go towards Plan B, and I'm going to focus here, or I'm going to refine my approach? Or you're going to say, okay, my Plan A is not working, I had some roadblocks, I had some hiccups, and now let's start simultaneously working on my Plan B. So your attention will be diverted towards your Plan B, and that means for the duration of time that you shift your attention to Plan B and try and refine that, you are not working to refine and work on your Plan A, and that distribution is not good.
It's not going to work.
It's not going. It can work for some people,
No,
but in 99 of
where
the,
are you on the fence? Are you here or are you there?
no, I am very clear that it is not going to work for me, at least. If you want to come and work in this industry, if you want to come and join my team, it's Plan A only, boss. No Plan B. Because you're either all out or you're all in. And if you're all in, go with guns blazing, firing on all cylinders.
The platform
That's the only way.
The platform is in place.
Everything is there. Work on these lines. Work on these factors. Make a clear decision in your life. You cannot go half-hearted into something, whereas your competitors are bringing their A game and you say, oh, I'll see if this works, if this doesn't work. So you are not, again, going back to my point, you do not believe that you can make it. So that's the only way you are going to have a plan B. I'm not against having a contingency plan. Trust me, I'm not against that, of having a contingency plan. Contingency plan in your life should always be there. But at what point have you tried and given up? Because you know what, that's the difference between businesses. That's it, the businesses fail after a certain amount of time, because in the initial days you are very much focused on it, and then you start losing that focus. As per statistics, 80% of the people who start working in real estate are out of the game within the first 3 years. Why is that? That's a huge amount of number. That's a huge number. You go to most of the developers' office, the bigger teams, or the agencies as well, and you see there are very few people who are consistently working there, and majority of the sales force is shuffled. Why does that shuffle happen? There has to be a reason, and those are the reasons that we have pointed out that actually contributes to that shuffle.
Very good points. Very good points. I'm very happy with this discussion. I'm sure it will bring a lot of value to people who are considering real estate as
Yes.
a career shift, as a career start, as something to get into. And I think with business leaders like yourself, there's enough and more, and a lot of guidance and opportunities that are available. And people should definitely look into these things. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode.